All right, welcome in to the smoke pit. I'm here with our boy Doom. Do you want to be called Doom, right?
Yeah. You can call me
No,
Doom.
wonderful. Doom thought he was a Marine. Or don't know. I don't know why I thought that. There's nothing in your comment that said whether you're Army or Marine Corps. So I'm just like, nah, I could smell the crayons. I'm like, he must be one of them. I don't know. But to remind people, what did you go with for your MOS, and then what did you end up actually picking? And yeah, we can start there.
Yeah, man. So initially, when I had enlisted, man, I was gonna do the 18 X-ray program, which I believe is the Special Forces candidate program.
Yep.
I don't know if that's still the.
Oh yeah.
The
yep.
code for it.
Still the program.
Okay. Yeah. And when I enlisted, I was going through a really bad situation, and I was damn near homeless. And the recruiter just snapped me up, and then he was like, you got two options. You can either wait a year and go through the program as a candidate because of your ASVAB score, or you can ship out of here within a month as an 89 Bravo, which is an ammunition specialist with the airborne contract. And I said, fuck it, let's go. I'm gonna hit this, and so I can get the fuck out of bum ass Arizona.
And for those who don't know, what is ammunition specialist? Like, if you boil it down, like dumb it down, like what would that be?
Okay, so the way I dumb this down, basically I am somebody as an ammunition specialist who issues out ammo, who turns it in, who cleans it when it needs to be cleaned. Inventory is there to make sure that we have good counts of everything, because as I'm sure you are aware, bad counts in the military are fucking life and death.
We need those counts. We need those counts.
The fucking counts, man. Oh my god.
Yep. If we not taking counts of things, what are we even doing in the military? I don't know.
Okay, exactly. It's like you could count the same fucking thing 3 or 4 different times, and you always get different numbers, and it makes no sense. But hey, that's what I signed up for, and that's what I did. And then at the end of my MOS, I guess, which is the most important thing in my opinion, we get to demilitarize the ammunition, whether that be small arms rounds, tank rounds, artillery shells, rocket pods.
Oh yeah, the big stuff.
All the good stuff, and
50 cal BMG.
Dude, everything, man. 50 cal, 5.56.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
9mm, man. Oh shit. My favorite caliber is definitely the 50 cal, but not because of how powerful it is, and I'm gonna relate this again on MOS.
Yeah.
Fucking infantrymen, for whatever fucking reason. Infantrymen, we always tell you, when you turn in ammo to us, separate your live or your brass from your live, or the blanks from what was already spent, right? And fucking when you have a 50 cal with a tip compared to a 50 cal round that doesn't have a tip anymore, and you put it in the same fucking crate, and it's not just 1 or 2.
That's your first mistake, man. You tell infantry guys to do things, and they're like, "What? What are you talking about?"
But it's what they're fucking good at, right?
No. They're good at doing simple things. They can't do. We can't do like complicated tasks. You tell me shoot that way, I'm like, Roger, that's sweet. You tell me lift this and throw it in there, I'm like, cool, awesome. You tell me separate these two, I'm like, whoa, hold up. I can't do that. Not a fucking chance. What? I'm just gonna throw all in the same box. Turn it in. Call that good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I also had the power to say no to you if
yeah,
you came to
yeah, that was the worst part.
my ammo
That was the
spot.
worst part. It's just as bad
You
as like the
know.
armor when I got a hot date that weekend and they're like, "No, it's dirty." I'm like, "Brother, I'll give you $20 right now. All right? I don't want to like this is clean.
Yeah,
It's
so,
clean."
yeah, man.
Oh,
I
fucking
remember before I was deployed, man. I turned down a first sergeant because he didn't have everything that I required of him. And I had told him the week prior, because he was in my sister company. I was like, "Hey, look, Todd, this is what you're gonna need. This is where you get it. This is how you go about having it. When you pull up, just make sure you got it. We ain't gonna have no problems."
Yep,
Got it.
yep.
And they always say communicate well with your leadership. That way you don't have problems. But your fucking leadership never communicates with you well enough.
I mean,
then they get
sometimes you'll have good ones, and a lot of times you won't have good ones, and that's just how it happens sometimes. You gotta just roll with those punches, and deal with it. Like you're gonna suck it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Things are gonna suck, which is the best advice I ever got from a recruiter. Is like shit is gonna suck. It's gonna suck. Get ready for it, because it's gonna suck. But there's some parts that will be good. It'll be cool. But to get back to it, you joined, switch over to that, and then joined. Anything that stuck out to you about like basic, that like just funny that you remember, something silly that you remember,
Yeah.
or just really basic time.
Yeah, so basic, when I went through, it was in the winter. So it was November to January. And then you had holiday block leave in between. For those who are uninitiated, holiday block leave is exactly what it sounds like. We get a block of
Yeah, it's like a little break. It's like a little holiday break.
where we can go home.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you got a little break to go home.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. Boot camp was fucking. It was hard when it started, but then I figured it out, and I became. I don't want to say a stud. That was not a stud at all, but I became good enough at it to where, Joe Harness will leave me the fuck alone.
No, I was pretty invisible for a while until like one day they discovered I exist, and then I just guy teed my face off, and I was like, oh, great. But I lost a lot of weight in boot camp.
Yeah,
but I've never seen Army boot camp though. That's one thing I've always been curious about, how different Marine Corps and Army boot camp are. I don't think they would be. I think there'd be some similarities, but there's definitely some things that are different.
So, I will say, as someone who has been through Paris Island for a 2-week program with the Marine Corps when I was in high school, some of the differences are very noticeable. In, for example, the way the DIs receive you compared to how the drill sergeants in the Army
receive you
exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that Marine Corps boot camp, it seems like it's more balls to the wall, and the Army's like starting to get away from that, which I think is bullshit, because you
need a little bit of breaking down. You need a little bit of breaking down to build somebody back up. And I mean, we had people that they pissed their pants. Grown men pissed their pants. And I'm like didn't know their right from their left. It's wild.
Yeah, that actually I was in boot camp, man. I was the one arguing with the drill sergeant. Not because I wanted to argue, but because my anger was getting the best of me. you know, and I was like, fuck all y'all, and I got written up a lot, and I actually got an Article 15 when I was in boot camp, so I should have been kicked out from the jump, you know,
But we
before I
need
even
people.
served time in the
We
military.
need people though.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Needs the military type shit.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, for kind of like you know, Article 15 is kind of like getting the NJP.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit in trouble, but it's not like they're throwing the book at you. It's like you got in trouble for this. Like here's a slap on the wrist.
and
Don't do it
then-
again.
Yeah, and then like I said, I wasn't a stud at PT, but I was good enough at push-ups. I was good enough in my ring. And I was terrible at sit-ups for whatever reason, but
Oh, the abs
you know,
gotcha.
yeah. I didn't really have
For me, it was running.
the
Running fucking killed
washboard
me.
abs, you know? Oh, dude. You know what's funny is that as a former soccer player, you would think that running sounds secondary to me, dude. And I was at boot camp, my fucking knees started killing me. And then my old Achilles injury started fucking bothering me. Oh, dude, it was horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, I sucked it up. You know, I made the experience my bitch, and you know, I got through it. You know, I got through it. Went to AIT.
I mean, you'll have
Um,
embarrassing stuff and things like that happen, especially at boot camp. Like you're going to do something stupid, and that's
Oh,
where
yeah.
you do it, and then that's where you just improvise, overcome it, or just push past
Exactly.
it, and then make it. But you got
Oh,
through
yeah.
boot camp. You went to your first. Where was your first unit at?
So my first unit was actually my only unit. That was gonna be 205th MOD in Alaska. I was stationed at Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson, which is
Ah.
a Joint Army Air Force base.
Alaska.
And
Ugh.
oh yeah, dude. It's funny because I love the cold, so I fucking welcome Alaska with open arms.
Well, good.
You know.
Was everyone like that, or were people like, oh god,
Oh,
Alaska, like I'm just
fuck
gonna
no,
freeze to
man.
death?
So after I got dropped from everyone's school, medically dropped from everyone's school,
Mm-hmm.
I got the option to go either to Campbell, the 101st, or to Alaska. And because I wanted to get away from the South and the heat that was coming, I said, "Fuck it, let's go to Alaska. You know, see what that's about." And you know, I spent 2.5 years in Alaska, and it was the best / worst time in my life for different reasons. But,
Yeah.
you know, I would love to go back to Alaska. I already told my friends, my colleagues, my people.
Like be
that,
stationed
yeah,
there,
I'll
or
go back
just
to
live
Alaska.
there?
Yeah. No, I want to go back to live there.
Oh yeah,
You know,
it'd be.
even though it is very expensive.
One thing I'll give Alaska, and I haven't been there very much. I only remember
Yeah.
flying through there and stopping from Japan to the U.S. And when it's summer, or like even when it's like not snowed out and there's just grass and green, it's one of the most
Yeah.
beautiful places ever. Like just
Hell yeah, dude.
just plains of grass, tons of forest, and just untouched. Just really, really cool looking.
Yeah, it's one of the most protected states in the country, and with good reason.
Like
But I
environmentally
do have-
protected?
Yes, environmentally, agriculturally,
Okay.
and it's like for example, even down to hunting.
Yeah.
You have to be within a window, certain time of year, to be able to hunt, because if you miss your deadline, you're screwed till whenever they open it back up again. And they're very strict about what can be hunted, what can be hunted.
Like civilian
Um,
side, or just like military guys going out to hunt?
The military guys mostly. You know,
Yeah,
that was
that's fair.
because you know how it is, man. We get to our base and we want to go outside. We want to explore what the fuck it is out there. You know, we think we're hot shit, especially as a new guy. You know, you think you're hot shit till you see that you're not.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Have you? Yeah, I'm sure you've run into people like this. Have you run into people that in the military, and people just assume they're good with weapons, and you know for a fact they are not? They could not be
Yes, bro.
further from it. Yeah.
Dude, I had this one guy who spiked his hand through the buffer spring of a 249.
Ugh.
You
Like
know,
it went
and I told
through his
him-
hand.
Yeah, it fucking impaled him. It impaled his
Jesus.
hand too. And I told that motherfucker, do
Oh.
not do that. And if you're gonna do that, take your hand away from the exact spot where it clipped him at. And sadly, he was discharged shortly after because he lost.
Holy
use of his hand.
shit. Yeah, for those who
Yeah,
don't
man,
know,
that was,
the spring for the 249 is flat to the ground, like it's horizontal. It goes all the way through the bolt carrier group, all the way to the front of the gun, and it's a big spring. It's like I'd like to say it's like, what do you think? Like
least-
12 inches, 16, almost 6, nah, like
I'd say
14
it's
inches
probably
maybe.
A foot to a foot and a half.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it's
The
long.
tension.
And it's a lot of tension, and I assume he had the bolt racked and then came out.
He did, and that's exactly what he did.
Oh my
And I told
god.
him not to do it that way, or if you were gonna do it that way, to be clear of it, because when that bitch comes out, it don't care what's in front of it.
Luckily as a medic I've never had to deal with that, but I've always been very careful. I've spent a lot of time with machine guns before I became a medic, so I'm always like, make sure you know that thing is not racked back ever. Never have it racked back.
Exactly.
I think I maybe have like one guy had it racked back, and right when he took the base plate off, I told him to put it back on immediately and like pushed him out of the way of it. But oh
Right.
man, so he got discharged then.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, it was a pretty crazy situation.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
I
I'm
told him
sure.
not to do it. He went and did it. You know, we had to call the ambulance on him because we were too far away from the troop clinic that we have.
Oh,
the
yeah.
little medical center that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the middle of the winter, if I am thinking correctly. So driving him was not really going to be a safe.
It was going to be
option.
tough.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not saying that we wouldn't have, you know.
Yeah, but
But
it's
we
snow.
definitely-
It's Alaska. It's going to be a bit. It's going to take a while.
Exactly. Yeah.
What
And you know
what
what's
ended up
funny is,
happening to his hand?
So essentially, he severed 2 nerves in the middle of his palm that allowed his hand to curl. And because he was a 249 gunner, you got to be able to rack your bolt to the rear whenever you're able to, or when you're doing your safety checks or whatever,
Yeah,
to be able to fucking,
just to function it.
mentally do that.
Just to
thing.
function the gun. Yeah.
Exactly. And we told him that, he had 2 options, try to figure it out, go to therapy and whatnot. And he was in therapy for a little while, and things did not go as planned. Obviously, with him, and unfortunately, he was discharged. I don't know the character of his discharge because my leadership kept that under wraps.
I'm sure it was either just honorable or other than honorable. Like it takes a lot to have,
Oh, yeah.
even other than honorable. Like it takes a bit. You need to do something, and they need to
Mhm.
apply for it. So I don't know, but no matter what, like I'm sure, hopefully he has some recovery in his hand, because there's a lot of tendons, a lot of muscles and tendons and ligaments and bones going on, all trying to work in your hand. So that is insane. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and and it's funny because like he was a prankster, so he liked to play around like that, and sadly, this particular incident was the last time I saw him. I haven't seen him since. I've been looking for him, but I don't know. It's since that
Doesn't
happened,
keeps a low
I guess
profile on the internet.
yeah, he keeps and it's crazy because he's kind of like you, he's very outgoing, he's real cool to people, he's very, social,
Yeah.
and he just, I don't know. After that, he disappeared.
I've had a
felt really,
couple dudes like that where they just disappeared. Like I don't know if they just want to be left alone. Or they just don't want to do internet. But yeah, maybe he's just living his best life, man. Maybe he just wants to be off the internet, stay off the grid. Or maybe he's just doesn't want to talk with other people. I don't know. It's odd.
right.
But yeah, I get the feeling. Like I have a recruiter. Well, I told you my recruiter gave that advice, right? It's gonna suck. He was a Fallujah mortarman in the Marine Corps.
Oh
and
shit!
And guy was probably one of the best mentors I've ever had. Right, just a really great guy. He actually helped me out another time when I came back home on leave, but that's a different time. Anyways, he left. I did my time. I got out, and I have yet to track him down. I don't have his phone number. Doesn't work anymore. I've talked to all the recruiters that worked with him. None of them know where he went. I've searched like internet for his like name, and it's been so long that I've been searching for him. Like I'm starting to forget how to spell his name, or exactly like what it is. So I'm like, where the fuck is this guy? Like, but he always was a very stoic man. Like he doesn't do a lot of internet. He's a great guy, but like doesn't do a lot of internet. Just likes to keep to himself and has his friends, has his family, and all you can do is hope for the best, and maybe you'll find him. Maybe you won't. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It's funny you say that because my recruiter was the opposite.
Oh, really?
He was
not helpful.
he was very. He not helpful at all, dude. God. So, last time I saw him was at MEPS. That was in 2017. I want to say maybe 2016, 2017, something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. My memory is very foggy.
That's
these
okay.
days,
Don't even trip, dog. It's all good.
Yeah, my memory is fucked, but I'm trying to be a decent human being these days.
We try.
Yeah. So, when I joined, he had found out that my airborne school qualification had gotten dropped. That I lost my bonus essentially. He ripped into me. He was like, why the fuck did I have you running all this stuff? You're just gonna do that? And I'm like, yeah, I hurt my back. I can barely walk. And he was like, oh, you should have fucking toughed it out and gotten your wings. Now you'll just be a fucking leg. And a leg is just somebody
who's not airborne. Yeah.
Exactly. Who does not have a jump wing.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, like I told you before, it kind of worked out because, today I can walk almost 100%.
Which is great.
And, it's, I mean, I feel like I'm fucking 50, even though I'm barely 30, but shit, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great recruiters out there, but there are. Like, they're out there. It just depends on who's stationed there at the time, I guess, because they're always rotating. You're not doing.
Oh yeah.
You're not always a recruiter. Like, is in the Army, Is it a is it a station that you stay there for a small portion of time? That's one thing.
What do you mean,
Because in the Marine Corps, it's called a B billet, and you're required to do that. It's like a required service you have to do for, I don't know how long it is. I think it's like a year station. Like you have to do it for a year, and then you move on to, you know, your normal MOS. Is that how it works in the Army?
Yeah. I believe it was a 2-year thing. You know, you kind of like you know, you get a billet, you have to go to be a drill sergeant, to be a recruiter, or something else. I don't remember what the
Okay,
other one
that
was.
sounds really similar to what we did. So I think it's probably the exact same how it works, which makes sense. Like you want a long enough time where, you know, they don't just stay there for like 6 months and they're ineffective. But you also don't want them so long, like you don't want them over 2 years, because then they start forgetting what their actual job, and then when they go back, they're not going to know anything. So that's not bad. But speaking of which, oh, what? I'm sorry.
No, I forgot. I was gonna say something. I forgot.
What? Any more stuff about the recruiter?
I saw him as a civilian about a year ago, in my home city.
Oh, really?
I was too far away from him to say anything.
Oh,
He saw
nice.
me waving. He was freaked out, you know, because I was looking like homeless.
Oh,
And I was just, you know, my hair was grown out. You know, my beard was all not bushy. I can't
yeah,
grow a beard,
looking like you're back on the block. I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
Yeah.
That you gotta let it grow out when you get out, man. Gotta let it grow.
I'm
Gotta abuse that grooming standard.
definitely, man, abusing the grooming standard. No, don't even get me started.
Yeah,
Don't even
exactly.
get me started on that. Oh man.
Well, that's funny you saw your recruiter, because I actually ran into my old recruiter, not the one I was talking about, but a different one. And he worked
Yeah.
across the street from where I lived when I moved in when I got out of the Marine Corps.
Oh shit.
I was
get
like
outta
I was
here.
like walking to the mechanic shop, which is next to my place, and you like yell. I hear someone yell, and I'm like, what? And it's him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I work here. What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh, bro, dude.
Yeah, and he was a recruiter. He was
fucking
like working as like a bank or something. I don't remember what it was,
Mhm.
but it was just fun. It was just fun seeing him. I don't know. I think I lucked out on some recruiters. I think they were all right. Get a few good ones.
Yeah,
But
I
you
will
said-
say
you
the
s-
leadership I had in,
No, keep going.
the leadership that I had in my platoon was it's kind of hit and miss, but I had a few highlights that I'll get to
In like your
when we get
unit.
there.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
mhm.
think that's great. Yeah, let's go there. So you got to this unit. Is this deployed or not deployed yet? The leadership.
This was before
Okay.
my deployment.
That's perfect. Yeah, we'll start there, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
So you said there was an incident?
And there was an incident with you're talking about the guy who lost his buffer spring?
No, I thought you said there was an incident with the leadership. Like something happened with the leadership before deployment, right?
Oh no, yeah. So we had it was that time of year where suicide briefs were very common on a weekly basis. To try
What
to
were
keep
very
us
common?
From, anti-suicide briefs.
Oh,
you would get PowerPointed to
yeah.
death,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
death by
Wonderful PowerPoints of don't do that. Very bad.
PowerPoint. Exactly.
Yep. Always great. Always love sitting through them.
Yeah, so we were getting a lot of those, and I believe it was a Friday. Someone took their life in the barracks that I was in,
Hmm.
and they cordoned off the barracks while the investigation was happening, while the body was removed, while the roommate that they had was taken elsewhere. And
Yep, pretty standard.
I remember being told, "Hey, this is why we're here for you. This is the exact reason why we're here for you." And to this day, I don't know who it is. I don't know what unit they were with. All I know is that we lost somebody in our little battalion, and I don't know. It was crazy, but leadership
What,
was like, "Hey, this is why we're here for you," and
like crazy that it happened?
yeah,
Does that you like what you
yeah,
like
we
you didn't
were,
expect it to happen in like your battalion? Is that why?
yeah, because this is like my first like month in at the unit,
Oh,
so
like
usually
straight first month at the unit
yeah,
and that happens.
first month and that happened. And then as a new guy, you have a probationary period where the rest of your teammates, the rest of your platoon, the rest of your company gets to know you, and you can't drink, you can't be doing stupid shit. You gotta be
Yep, you
out
kind of
there,
gotta earn yourself a little bit and
front lines.
figure out
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, and
Well,
I remember that
that's a
that
eye
was very
opener.
shocking.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a big like welcome to the military, right? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
a unique way to get started.
yeah.
I had a few similar incidents near the end of my career with the Marine Corps, and I don't know about you. I don't know how you feel about that stuff, but I the way those classes are done, they say it's very like here are the signs to look for, and it's very easy to see these signs, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. And um, I was very very angry because they kept sending me to these classes, um,
Mhm.
and I think I like snapped in one of them, and and like I just told them like they're just gonna hide it. You're not gonna see it coming, and it sucks. And they they told me to step out. Um, but
Yeah.
especially
So
getting something like that on your first month in your first unit too, that would be an eye opener for
exactly.
sure. Like, did
Yeah,
it make you
and
think a sort of way? Like, is this how a career works, or what did you think when that
yeah.
happened?
So when it initially happened, I was like, well, it's kind of becoming true that the suicide rate in Alaska between service members was as high as it was, and I don't remember the exact um, number off the top of my head. That time frame, there was a lot of like mental health problems. There was a lot of suicides in the on base, and you know how leadership usually is. They try to prevent it from happening by sending you to all these pointless PowerPoint presentations, and just like you said,
I wouldn't say
you know,
pointless, but it's like it's the same class. You get sent to the same class over and over again, and I don't know. You can think whatever you want about these classes, but I didn't think they were the most helpful.
yeah, me either, because like kind of like you said, the signs are not always obvious,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually wanted to piggyback off that statement
Oh yeah.
by providing my own example of the signs not being obvious, right? So I don't remember the exact time frame this was, but I had a buddy that was in my squad, and we had come home to the barracks, and we were gonna go out drinking off post, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go grab this bag real quick from my room," and I was like, "All right, cool. He's probably spend the night, whatever," because he had a buddy off post, and I didn't think anything of it until we had started drinking, and he was like very, very intoxicated, and we got a 100% recall. You know, so
Which is
I was
everyone
like,
got
fuck.
called back to base, right?
Exactly. You know,
Okay.
kind of just like be back and be in your rooms. You know, I don't care if you're drunk or not. You know, and you know, we just need you back on base. You know, and we'll come to your rooms and check on you and all that good shit. And you know, yeah, we get back to base. You know, I'm driving because he's too drunk to drive, and you know, I had sobered up by then. And you know, we went back to the barracks. You know, after our recall check, after our what do we call that? What do we call it?
Little check-in, little accountability.
Kind of like a yeah. There you go,
Yeah,
accountability.
got that
Yep.
accountability.
So after our little accountability, you know, we made sure everybody was there. We checked if the coast was clear, and then we got back to drinking. And somewhere, somehow, I find out that he has a bottle of Captain Morgan in that bag that he told me he was gonna grab. And his plan was to drink that and then take some painkillers to kill himself, you know, because he was going through a really bad time. You know, I think he had just lost somebody in his family or something like that, and his other family members were shunning him for not being there. And I did everything that I could to be able to keep him away from that, you know, because he had seemed like he was happy the whole night. You know, even when he was belligerent to me.
Yeah. Like
And
belligerent how? What do you mean?
you know how some people when they drink, you know, they get all loud and they get hyper, and like it's a whole different side to them
Like
compared to when they're sober.
way more I wouldn't say outgoing, but way more vocal than they usually are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So he was being
you know,
just way more vocal, way more loud.
and I'm sorry, I'm eating.
No, it's fine.
So when we were driving on back to base, I had to pull over because he kept trying to grab steering wheel. You know, and I was like, yo, you need to chill out if he gets pulled over. And we were like 15 minutes from base though. And I was like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up, let me drive. And then when we get to the gate, I also need you to shut the fuck up and give me your ID.
Yeah, so then we don't have to deal with the gate guards, you know, being annoying.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then we actually got lucky with the gate guard that we got lucky with, the one to let us in. They were in our battalion, so we got kind of lucky that they were on.
Yeah, like they knew you,
watch.
you knew them.
They just wanted to make sure that he was cool, you know, because he was a little, you know, he started crying, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. You know,
Just thought it was a lot of alcohol, you know. Get a little emotional, maybe.
Yeah, we were playing Flip Cup with a bunch of dark liquor, and you know, the original plan was for me to drink and him drive, but then he got drunk, so I had to sober up. So.
Yep, as is tradition.
Sadly, but you know, somebody has to take the fall, even when there's fun being had.
Yeah, someone's got to be the party pooper.
Exactly, and Sally that came to me, you know, and, like I said, you know, we got recalled and we got made it back on base. Did our accountability checks and then kept drinking. At some point, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, I think. I realized that he was on the duty roster for our post general's entry control point,
What, for like
24-hour duty
gate
shift thing.
guard?
No, it's kind of like CQ.
But like gate guard ish, like CQ duty almost.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, it's just where the post general and all his staff work at.
And then he just
you
checks
know, not even-
vehicles as they go in.
Exactly.
Okay. So
half
he
the time
he
the
had
building was
that
empty.
he had that duty tomorrow morning, like that next morning.
That next morning, yeah, he was supposed to start at 6 a.m. and
Ugh.
it was 2 o'clock in the morning. So you imagine life. You know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't slept all fucking because of this guy.
Yeah, without a
And
doubt.
Then I realized, you know, and at some point in between, you know, he was starting to become like very agitated. You know, he was like, I want to kill myself. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, I'm sick of being in this world. I was like, nah, dude, you're much better than that, bro. Like don't be telling me that kind of shit. You know, just doing what I could as his platoon buddy to help him out. You know, and eventually I did what I could. You know, I separated him from the medication and the alcohol that he was gonna drink, and I got him to sleep for like 2 hours, 3 hours, while I took a nap. You know, and I threw away the alcohol, I threw away the medication, just so that I knew that whenever I left his room again, that he would not have that stuff to be able to take. Long story
Yeah.
short, I take him to his duty. He's hung over his shit. The NCO IC of the watch, I guess, notices him. He's hung over his shit. He's like, take him downstairs to sleep. I sleep it off. I'm like, all right, cool. And then that was that. Couple days later, I find out that he was very resentful to me about it. But I'm like, dude, you wanted to kill yourself, bro. Like, I'm not about to let you do that.
Well, like
Because
he was
having that on my
he was mad at
conscience-
you that he stopped you.
Yeah, he was pretty mad that I did not let him kill himself.
I mean, yeah,
And
I can see that.
But
Like no, that some people, like, if that's their goal, they would be upset, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but then I talked to his squad leader, his team leader. I was like, hey, look, this is what we're looking at. This is what I'm dealing with him, and I don't want to get him in trouble, but I also don't want to see him, you know, going down this road. Eventually, he got the help that he needed, and he thanked me for it profusely. And then after that, we actually became best friends, and we're still best friends to this day.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, man. I
you
didn't
know,
I didn't think it was
anytime
gonna
that
take
he's
that
been
turn.
like-
I didn't think it was gonna take that turn.
No,
But
you know what's funny is that
no, that's cool.
when
That's great.
I met him, oh yeah, dude. When I met him, dude, I couldn't fucking stand him. I fucking hated this guy. You know, he was that typical redneck white boy from the Midwest, you know. And,
Damn, yeah, fuck those Midwest
No,
dudes.
no, he was like, what the fuck are you gonna do to me, wetback? I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah.
Ugh.
And then he would pepper me. You know, he would try to test me and shit. And one day we were on gate duty in the field, and he pushed me to the ground. I punched him, and he started fucking laughing. He was like, "I'm getting you out of your shell." And after that, you know, I was shy when I got to my unit, but he was the one that got me out of that shell.
And he's a
And,
really like outgoing guy. This guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's like the extrovert. You always need an extrovert to get an introvert out of their shell a little bit.
exactly.
Like, that's the
And
only way to do it.
I thank him for it.
And
and then
yeah,
after that happened, we started hanging out a little bit more. But the situation with him wanting to kill himself was what led to us eventually becoming best friends.
well, that's awesome, man. It's rough. It's tough to uh it's tough to try to put yourself in that situation because people like that generally think like they would be a burden, right? And it's hard to convince someone that thinks them not being around would be a benefit. And if they can
Right.
just get over that hurdle and stick around long enough to realize that that's not the case, they see it. And I've had a few people. I haven't become like best friends with anybody like that, but I've had a few of them that I've had my own experience with that they come back and they're like, yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you, because
Right.
otherwise they wouldn't be still around doing the great things that they do. Because everybody has their own, everybody's got their own things they deal with. Everybody's got their own story before they join, right? Everyone's got their own background. And just
Right.
and along with that, everybody's got their own special thing they give off in the world that I can't do the same thing that that person does. Like, who knows what the fuck they can do if they just continue on. Like, who knows what they'll be doing. Maybe like one of my buddies, he owns a powerlifting gym. It's like, how the fuck would I have known that? Like, that is cool as
Oh,
shit,
sweet.
right? So it's like, if you don't
Right.
if you don't make it there, then we'll never know, right? Like, what special spark
Exactly.
you'll leave around. So that's cool. That is really cool. Have you talked to him lately at all?
Yeah, I actually spoke to him on the phone about a month ago. And now whenever we greet him, no, whenever I greet him or he greets me first, we'll call each other some racial word to
Yeah.
start our conversation, but
Yeah.
not because we are like that, but because that's just how our friendship has
It's-
evolved over the years.
It's a weird thing in the military and calling each other like things like that, right? It's a fine line, but it's definitely something that you see a lot in the military. Like, that was me and
Yeah,
and speaking of that, my the powerlifting gym, that was the guy that we became friends, and we also called each other terrible fucking names, but we were best of friends,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was great. I don't know why we did that, but that was just what you did at the time, I guess. I don't know.
that's just kind of the way the friendship was, man. It's like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't fucking stand guts, and then, we were like 2 doors down from each other in our barracks and shit. And all it took was me punching him in the face to get out of my shell, and then for him to want to kill himself, for us to be even closer than we were already. Because even now, as civilians, as both of us are civilians now, I'll text him every other morning. Hey, good morning. How you feeling? Are you okay? And somebody who has struggled with mental health issues before, who has overdosed twice, I know what it's like to be on that side, to be helpless when there's all this help around. You don't want to take it because you're too prideful to take the help. You're like, oh my god, I can do this by myself. I don't need fucking help to get me through this bullshit. But then you're like, yeah, I actually do need the help to get through this. And but yeah, that can be something we're talking about later on if you'd like. Or
Yeah, I was
Um,
actually going to
right.
ask that because the whole like reason we're talking is because you brought up your friend, which I thought was like a totally different context, which like you corrected in the comments. But you reminded, I believe the comment was like I reminded you of a friend of yours that
yeah,
that was just outgoing or knew a lot about guns or sounded like a fucking great guy, like from how you described him.
Yeah,
And
he definitely was. I think the video that I had seen of you, you were on a 50 cal range, and you were directing, or I don't know if it was you or if it was somebody else, but the person in the video recording on range was talking about racking the 50 cal a certain kind of way and holding the butterfly spring in the middle to be able to keep it, cycling, so that way it could go to the cycle rate and not have to fucking jam like a 50 cal normally does.
Yep, that was definitely me. I was just helping with there's something up with the 50 cal, and we had it on a single fire for the qualification, and I was too lazy to put it on full auto, so I'm just like hold down the bolt release and rack it, and then he racked it, and that was essentially the video.
And, it's funny because something really similar happened to me, but I was being, so. I don't remember if it was small arms fire or if it was a Gishka, but I was being fired on, and I was going through the motions trying to get it right, but my hands were fucking butter, so I couldn't really calm myself enough to clear the jam. And then he got on the radio and was like, "Hey, this is what you're gonna do. You need to fucking relax for a second." While he was also being shot at. And usually I don't know how it works with you guys.
This is during deployment.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, this is yeah, dude, this is, and that's why I have brought the helmet first. That happened during that ammo resupply mission that I think we had briefly spoken about before.
Okay, so
but we'll get to that whenever time's right.
Yep. But in short, you're under fire. You're trying to fix the Dishka. Is that right?
Yeah. No, I don't remember if I was being shot by an AK or if I was being shot by a Dishka. I don't remember.
That's what you didn't know what you're getting shot by. Okay. So you're trying to fix the 50? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this guy, is there something you want me to call him, or just your friend?
You call him Reed.
Reed? All right. So Reed's on the radio.
Yeah.
Just smoothly buttering you through the process of how to fix it.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. He had that like angelic voice through the chaos that,
like calm voice, like a calm, steady voice in chaos.
He was very, he wasn't yelling, but he was. But because I'm sure you know when firefights happen in chaos.
You need to be loud. Yeah, you need to be loud.
Yeah, you gotta be loud.
If you speak quietly, there's no way anyone is gonna fucking hear you ever.
Exactly. There's no point in being subtle. And I remember I got on the fucking radio and I was like, this fucking shit's jamming and I can't get it. And he talked me through it, and eventually I got it out, and I realized there was a link. There was a link that had broken off into the chamber, so I had to get it out.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've never seen that. I've never seen a link get caught like that. But
it can happen, but you don't see it a lot. Yeah, you really don't see it often at all. But when it does happen, it's fucking. That would be scary as shit, especially in that instance.
Yeah, and like I said, I was getting ready to get my M4 and return fire because, I'm gonna sit and duck at that point. And you know, Reed gets on the radio. He does what he does. And, yeah, you know, we get the fuck out of there.
Well, good,
You
man.
know, we completed our mission and back to Kandahar.
Tell Kandahar, you said.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Reed. What, like, where's he from, if you know him? Like, big guy, short guy, Hispanic, white, black.
Yeah. So he was wild. I want to say he was from Florida or California. I don't remember. Or I think he was born in California, but he moved some along those lines. And he was an infantryman who was in the middle reclassifying to a different job.
Like, big guy, short guy,
They needed,
like medium build.
But 6'2" maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about medium. You know, about 200. Yeah, but he was a stud. He was a good guy. You know, he was a PT stud, and he was very nonchalant as a leader. You know, but not in a bad way. You know,
Nonchalant
he
is
would
a what?
always be supportive. Nonchalant, but as a leader, you know,
Oh
as a
yeah,
NCO.
just very a little bit laid back.
Yeah.
It is nice to find some leaders that aren't uptight, you know, like you probably need a few of those, but when you have that guy that's been was he an older guy, like one of the like gunnies, or sorry, sergeant first classes.
He was a sergeant first class. Yes, he was like late 30s.
Oh yeah, yep. Like older guy, been through the block a little bit, laid back. Those are the fucking best ones. Like they're like some of them are fucking great mentors.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like I said, he taught me through it. And, he wasn't in my company.
I was gonna say, was he in your company, in your unit?
He wasn't actually. He was in our sister company, and like I said, I think he had reclassified to a different MOS before I met him. So when we were deployed, he was a different MOS already. Let me think. So I think he was supply. No, he wasn't supply. He was signal, but because of his infantry background, you know, they decided, you know, hey, let's bring him along and.
Oh yeah, let's have someone that knows what they're doing.
Exactly. And his knowledge was very, very helpful to all of us. That was gonna be my first deployment. You know, that ended up being my only deployment. But yeah, no, dude, he reclassified. He changed his MOS before we deployed because he was entering his last contract, so he just wanted to do something different.
That's pretty fair.
That age,
especially when you're that old and like you've been in infantry. It's like God, it fucking. I can only imagine if like the wear, physically and mentally, that like he's been dealing with, and he's like, you know, how about we do something a little different? I like that. Good. I'm glad he got to do something a little different.
Yeah, I'm glad he did too. You know, he was telling us, you know, that had he continued his whole career as an infantryman, I don't think he would have made it to 20 years like he did.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. Yeah.
He was a lifer, you know, and sadly he's no longer with us. But you know, think about him every day. You know.
Did you hear anything about that? Like, just he got out and that's what happened?
Yeah, I believe because I had got out before he did, so I have no idea like how it all went down. But he was struggling to find purpose after leaving the military, and I think a lot of us do when we leave the military, honestly.
Yeah, it's tough.
But kind of one thing led to another, and he became a really bad alcoholic. And before I knew it, COVID had started, and he, I think he had been out like maybe 3 or 4 months at that point, and he went to sleep and then never woke up.
How did you hear about it?
And a friend of the family, that she's a nurse now, and I think she was married to like his sibling or something, and I just happened to know them. She hit me up on Facebook one day and was like, "Hey, you know this guy named Reed?" And I was like, "Yeah, he was one of my old NCOs." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but he has passed away from what appears to be an overdose." And he he didn't survive. They were trying to save him, and they could not, unfortunately.
Yeah, overdoses are tough calls. I don't know if I told you, but I worked in the ambulance when I got out, and
Oh yeah,
overdoses are they're tough. They're tough, man. But I'm sure that was tough news to hear too. Like I don't know if you knew like when you got the text, like when you saw the first message. I don't know. Do you have like a feeling or anything? Like, because I don't know if they just don't message you that often.
Yeah. So it's crazy that you're. It's kind of. You say that. Because I think maybe a week before he and I had spoken about going to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Who, you and Reed?
And yeah, we were gonna hang out and just take a boys trip to Myrtle Beach. And I was like, dude, send me the plans, whenever you want to hang out. And then he told me, I got you, and that was the last text message I got. And that was about a week before he took his life. So
yeah, it's tough. It's at least you have that like kind of positive message before for receiving that kind of news, right? Wasn't anything really negative. Like he obviously knew you cared about him, right? Yeah. So hopefully that was some form of comfort. But the reason I asked that was because like I had a similar incident, and I had a really bad feeling that morning. And it's not great. It's not a good feeling that washed it over you, and especially when you see someone or you're getting a message from someone you haven't heard in a while, related to that person. So it's never good. Especially for someone like that, because they sounded pretty like a quality guy. Like I'm sure I would have loved to meet that guy. I'm sure we would have talked about machine guns and talked in a smooth voice forever.
Yeah, he was the type of guy that would give you the shirt off his back, and he had a pretty solid upbringing, but he came from a life of not really like middle class, but not poor. So he was relatable to a lot of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of the lessons that he gave us have stuck with me over the years.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty cynical of people, especially after being in the military. Like you meet a lot of shitty people over the years. But when you meet some people like that, like Reed, you can definitely tell. Like when you meet a bunch of shitty people, you really appreciate the good guys and girls that come along that you're like, that's a quality human being right there, and like that's an example that I want to remember. And hopefully be like, right? Like I want to be like that person. How positive they are, or how nice they are to me. I'm sure like the lessons he told you, like you still remember them and gonna probably teach them to someone else at some point, right? It's just yeah. Any ones that you remember off the top of your head? Any like the best advice he probably gave you?
Best advice he gave me was to make the experience in the military, or the experience is what you make of it, and that stuck with me after I was shot. I was trying to make the best out of the situation, and I never really returned to 100% duty. So I was never cleared for duty before I was
before you were discharged. Yeah. So just so that people are aware, like you got shot where?
I was shot in my leg, and I mean usually.
And that was deployed, correct?
That's correct.
And was that in Kandahar as well?
I want to say it was north of Kandahar province. Let me take a look, say exactly where I was, because I have a hard time remembering the.
That's fine. I just for like people listening, just so that they know, just generally. But anyways, you got shot, and I'm sure you're having a tough time getting back to full health, and it was probably not the most motivating thing ever. Like you're probably feeling shitty, because you want to be able to do things right. And I'm sure his advice was somewhere along the lines of, it's what you make of it. So instead of being bummed out about your leg, try to work with what you got, improve it, do your best, and find a way to improve the time that you have in the military.
He definitely made the rest of my time worth it afterward.
What did you end up doing?
So after I was wounded, I came back to the country and I went back to my unit, and I ended up being at the ASP in a very limited capacity. I couldn't lift very much. I was walking with a cane for a little while, but.
And by the way, is this shot right leg, left leg, upper leg, lower leg?
Like left leg, groin area.
So pretty high up.
Yeah. I was lucky to not be hit in my femoral.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Because I think the doctor told me I was like 5 to 10 centimeters away from being shot in the carotid, and
the femoral, or yeah, I was like, carotid's in the neck.
I was like, carotid's a little high. Carotid's a little high, you know?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
No,
but you got lucky. You missed your femoral.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you're walking with a cane. Yeah.
Wasn't the outgoing guy that I was. I started drinking like way more. I was going through like 4 or 5 bottles of Jack a week.
You ever get talked to about that by like command or anything? They ever catch you?
No, because I always kept it
pretty sneaky about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty devious, you know, but I was trying to function that way, and never got caught. But they were made aware of my issues, and I went to the Army Substance Abuse Program, ASAP,
Yep.
as we call it, and
Yeah.
it helped me a little bit, but it made it worse.
How so?
And
How so did it make it worse?
so when I went through, I went through cold turkey, and I didn't have a period of like sobriety. I just had to suck it up and deal with it, because I had to do it for my own good, as my leadership told me. And the course helped me get sober for like, I think I was sober for like 2 weeks after I completed the program. After I went through all the requirements I needed to require to, all the fucking requirements that I had to go through to be, finishing the program, getting back on duty, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like something happened afterward with my family.
Like just a
and
situation.
That
Like a situation happened in the family.
yeah. It involved my mom, and it just took me down this spiral back again into, I was right back on it again. Like I had never quit.
Yep. Got back into drinking then.
Exactly. And then I went,
Probably made it
started
worse.
taking antidepressants. Yeah, no, it's man. I remember something that I'll always remember. I did PT one time, and we got told, hey, go back to your barracks, shit, shower, shave. We'll see you at 9:30. I remember mixing a pot of coffee with like half a bottle of Jack Daniels, and then just taking that to work.
Oh, really?
Like that's how bad it. Yeah.
Oh man. Like a mug, like in one of those like sealable mugs.
Kind of the one with that little slide top,
Yeah.
Drop it
Like
all
the
over
big
the
one.
place. Exactly. It was like a 28 ounce.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I can see it clearly in my brain.
Yeah.
Actually, that's funny you say that because when I first got out and I worked in the ambulance, I had one of those same mugs, and I was just so laid back that people just thought I was drinking. They thought I had like alcohol in there. And I'm like, no, I'm just calm. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, so it got worse, right? You're drinking during the day. What happened to kind of get you off it a little bit?
So this actually kept going on till like the middle of COVID, when I finally had enough. This is post-military. I got out of the military 9, 12, 19, so I just recently celebrated 6 years of being out.
Yeah, congrats, man.
And I miss it every day.
You miss certain things about it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain things about it.
I miss the
Not all of it.
people.
Oh, the people for sure. The camaraderie, the trauma bonding. That's always great.
Mm-hmm.
Then, but COVID.
Benefits, I think, it's what I miss the most.
Wait, what do you miss the most?
The benefits, because they're not as good as my VA stuff is.
Oh, you're talking about like full like TRICARE?
Yeah, like full TRICARE.
Oh man.
Dental,
yeah, for those who don't know, like when you're active, you get hurt, they pay for everything. Everything. You don't pay a fucking thing, which is awesome.
You need dental work done? Hey, we got you.
Yeah,
You
I
need
got my
lane
wisdom
safety.
teeth. They wouldn't let me get out of the Marine Corps until I got my wisdom teeth taken out. They wouldn't sign the
Dude, that's fucking
papers.
hard.
I wouldn't get out.
Uh-huh.
So they got my wisdom teeth taken out, which is annoying at the time, but uh I was happy later on cuz like that was a smart thing to do. But two, like didn't cost me a dime. All wisdom teeth. Take it out. Nothing.
Exactly.
Which is
Same.
yeah, I got to say that is one good benefit that like you don't think about until you get out and then you start paying for medical and dental
Mhm.
and you're like, "Oh, this is not cash money."
This is not what I'm used to. Exactly.
Yeah. But back to COVID. So you've been drinking.
Yeah.
It got to be around
Uh-huh.
COVID. But what got you off the wagon? Or I guess on the wagon? I don't know. What got you to
Yeah,
stop drinking
so-
basically is what I'm saying.
So I moved to let me see. So COVID was 2020 or 2023, right? 23-ish maybe. I want to say late 21. I was like fiending for a drink. I was like fucking dying to have a drink of something, but I couldn't afford it. And I had gotten off work and I was walking home this particular night, and I took a look at myself and I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I like this? I've lost who I once was, and I don't know who I am anymore. Because every day, I'd be smoking weed and I'd be drinking. Just as I wanted to do it. I was living with a coworker who was also in the military. He was also an army guy, so me and him got along pretty well. And drinking with him was like drinking with my Barry's buddies. But something needed to change, and I was sick of wasting hard-earned money at the time to, supply my demons. And I said, fuck it, I'm gonna slowly work on becoming sober. And then I seeked out therapy, actually.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah, I had this like weird thing where a couple times a month I'd have these like suicidal ideations, and then I'd be fine. I'd cry it out and I'd be fine. And then I went to the VA after a really bad episode, and I think this was right before COVID started, so like February or March 2020.
Yeah.
Around
there.
I went with one of my coworkers to the VA, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill myself." And I had planned actually to take my life in front of the VA. I had a pistol tucked into my back, and I was just gonna blow my brains out right there in front of the front desk if I had gotten turned down. They gave me a piece of paper. They said, "Hey, we can't help you because of the COVID restrictions at the time." They weren't really sure what the hell we were getting into. As we all found out what COVID was after the fact.
Oh yeah, they didn't know anything right away.
And yeah, I don't remember exactly what I did, but I was like, "Fuck it, I'm sick of being like this." And I started seeking therapy.
I mean,
found a really good
that's an
organization.
awesome choice, man. How did you find the therapist?
So I was just looking on Facebook, I think, and this company that is local to Savannah, Georgia. I think they were like 30 minutes south. It's a place called Hickstrong. It's a HICK Strong,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who set the company up, were people that lost their son to suicide, and they did not get all the answers to why he killed himself. And in order to help other veterans who were in a similar situation, you know, these two parents, they formed the company, and they got me in touch with a therapist who was someone who didn't take any BS. She was very like on it, and she told me straight up. She didn't sugarcoat anything to me.
Was
And I
very
think that's,
straightforward.
yeah, she was extremely straightforward, and I think that was one of the things too that helped me get through it, because in the military you get therapy from the government appointed therapists that they have, and they're like, oh, okay, how are you feeling? Are you riding like you're supposed to? Are you taking your breathing exercises? Yeah, it's shit that we don't want to do, because we feel like we can handle it. But with this particular therapist, she was very straightforward about things. She was very blunt about it, and she was like, "Look, you fucking called me because you need help, and I'm not gonna walk away from you, but I'm also not gonna be able to help you if you don't talk to me." And I was like, "Whoa," I was taken aback, and yeah, after
Yeah.
like 6 months. Dude, after like 6 months of working with her, I was very, very grateful. And then I got sober, and I'll be 2 years sober. Or 3 years actually, in February.
How good does that feel?
Dude, I was a demon that I thought I would never conquer, dude. Holy shit. Um, that's one of the demons that I thought I would never get off my back, and I finally did. And now I'm just like in such a better mood. I don't need to drink to be able to get by anymore. I can worry about my stress.
Well, I'm fucking proud of you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
because it's tough. It's tough, and not everyone makes it. It's
no, definitely not, dude.
It's a difficult thing to quit.
It's a hard thing to quit, but once you quit, it's like you feel all this weight come off of you, and it's like you find a reason to smile again. That was the turnaround for me, and the past 2.5 years have been, say, good for the most part. I'll have my moments, where I get back into those thoughts, but I go through my thinking exercises. I go through my mental journal, and I go back to what kept me from doing it, and then I'm good again. And so long as I have a reason to keep fighting, I will. And that's what I tell myself every single day.
If you were able to go back 2 years ago to yourself before you started this, what do you think the best advice you would be able to give to yourself would be?
Let's see. That's some good advice I could give myself 2 years ago. Don't hold back on what made you shut down.
Like, be open about it.
Yeah, don't hold back like you did on your therapist in the military. Talk to them about your issues and how you feel, and what you wouldn't share with that therapist in the military. Share with this one because she wants to help you.
I
And
mean, yeah.
if,
Sorry, go on.
if you don't talk about it, yeah, no, you. Um, if you don't talk about it, they can only help you so much. You know.
Yeah, if you don't talk about it,
Yeah,
no one knows, right? And I
yeah,
like the way
no,
she put
absolutely.
it, where it was a she, right? I'm
Yes, yeah,
okay.
it was.
Where she said, I can't help you, and that's because it's true. It's like only you can get yourself out of it, right? Like she's there to like help
Right.
facilitate it and help listen and
Hmm.
like figure some things out, but if you don't change, like nothing changes. Like I don't know, have you ever heard of Theo Vaughn, comedian?
Yeah,
He does
yeah.
that podcast, right? Um,
I love his
and
podcast.
one thing that I thought was really cool, that I'm sure plenty of people know, but he said, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? And if you don't
For sure.
change, nothing's going to change, which is like, it's such a simple thing, and it's something that should be common sense, but you just get stuck in that rut and you just don't want it. You don't do anything different. You just get kind of sucked down in like a bad attitude or depressed or whatever, and you just get through the day and don't change anything, and you're like, well, it did nothing change today, so another day down the drain, and it becomes a cycle, and you gotta change it before anything changes. So I'm glad you opened up to the therapist though, and you helped yourself, really. You got yourself out of it, which is cool, because it's incredibly tough with any like addiction, whether it be like alcohol, drugs, um whatever. Are you doing anything
Yeah,
special for
and
you 2 year?
probably I'm gonna be working honestly. I mean, I would definitely like to, but at this point, I think I would. I think I'm gonna end up being. I'm not sure yet.
We
I would like
gotta make
to,
that money, yeah.
but
Yeah.
exactly,
Or maybe
and the job that I
belate that.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely would love to, but at the moment, the way things are, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna
And
say no to the possibility.
maybe save it for like the next weekend, you know.
Yeah, no,
My
no.
biggest thing is like I don't usually celebrate, and even when like I want to celebrate something, it's more of like I just hang out with some close friends, and that's me
Mhm.
celebrating. I don't do grand stuff. I just like to do me. Just like to do what I like to do, and have my space, and yeah.
No, I hear you on that. Especially now that I'm a little more introverted than I was before. I
Oh really?
yeah, I just I um don't I don't know. I don't know about you, but I hate crowds.
You hate what?
I despise being in crowds.
Oh,
Crowds of
crowds.
people. I
I
hate
don't like
being.
crowds. I hate crowds. I hate large
And
amounts of people, and being in that
I
large amount of people. I'm not a fan. And I assume you're going
yeah.
with
I mean,
this is like I don't like uh concerts. I don't like huge parties. I don't like big venues. I
right.
just gives me anxiety, and I'm like I don't want that. I
And
Can I do it
it's funny
sometimes?
that you say
Sure.
that.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, because like I just went to a concert like
Oh. What concert? Hello? Oh. Do we lose him? Brother? You might be muted. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
But what concert?
Yeah, so it was band called I think it was Dust. Turner or Dust or something. Charlotte. That
Okay.
was a pretty nice. You know, I went with my siblings. That kind of helped me out a little bit, even though we were stuck outside the venue for almost 2 hours because of rain. But it was fucking worth it.
It was fun. It was a good time.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I got to spend time with my siblings that I usually don't get to spend with them. So
Yeah.
it was a great time for us, though.
Well, good. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I also don't like crowds. That's I'm sure plenty of the vets are the same way. They one of my close buddies that lives nearby, he's not big on crowds either. A certain amount of people is okay, but like once you get over, I don't know what number would it be, like 50 or 100. And it depends on how big the area is too. Like if it's a large area and it doesn't seem like that many people, I don't think it's a big deal. Or whatever. But no, that's funny. Yeah. I'm very similar in that aspect.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Like I said, it was definitely a good experience for me to try to get out of my comfort zone again, and I definitely did have a good time. I was kind of anxious for a minute, but then I got over it.
Yeah, because you said you've gotten more introverted, so just trying to break out your shell a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That happened like right after you got out, like getting more introverted. Do you think?
Yeah, because I started drinking so much, and when I wasn't working, I was gaming and drinking. So like that was
always a great combo.
My safe space.
Yeah. Actually, here's a good question I didn't think about was when you first got out, did you feel like there was a huge gap between you and civilians? Like even if they were people you knew, even if they're like friends, family, like do you just feel like you just didn't fit in very well when you first got out? Sorry, I think your phone is either a little bit too far away or you moved into like a room that it's not allowing us to hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Let me go outside real quick. I'm gonna smoke a joint real quick.
Okay. I don't know if that's gonna demonetize this video, but we'll see. Fuck it.
Oh lordy.
I don't know a lot about YouTube, so I guess we'll find out.
Oh shit. Well,
actually, what am I saying? I can just edit that out. I'm an idiot.
That's yeah. You just mute that section out.
Yeah.
I'm not
exactly.
doing that. I'm just going outside for better signal.
Yeah, a little cigarette. A little cigarette.
a little
right.
cigarette, exactly.
Okay. Anyways.
So when I got out, man, I was gonna be able to handle it. I remember my first day out, my alarm to wake up for PT went off, and it was like 5 o'clock, 5:30, and I sat up and I'm like, where the fuck am I at? I don't recognize this place. Where's my closet? Where's all my stuff? And that's when it hit me. I was like, well, I'm out of the military. It really didn't hit me till I got back home to my family, and I took a 8-hour flight from Alaska to to Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and the climate change was like fucking crazy. It was -10 when I left Alaska. It was 98 when I got to Georgia.
Always nice.
And- Oh yeah, I got super sick. But as far as your question, I definitely felt like I was better than civilians, you know, because I'm in the fucking military. You know, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you know,
What?
you
That's
know,
that's not what I expected. Go on, please.
yeah, no, dude. So like, I don't know about you, man, but I had a lot of anger problems after I left the military.
A little bit,
I
yeah.
was angry. I was like angry all the fucking time, dude. And
Oh,
then I
yeah.
wasn't taking shit from nobody, you know. And then, you know, I was trying to find a routine that would work for me because, you know, I didn't have my leadership anymore to guide me through it. You know, it's like, you know,
Yeah, it's kind of
so
like
used
the
to-
wild, wild west now. It's like you make up your own rules. You figure it out, right? No guidelines.
Exactly. No, damn right. And kind of one thing that stuck out to me was um, just how much I struggled to socialize with people, because the things that I would be saying to most military people, they would find fucking hilarious, but then to a civilian, it's like, what? What are you saying? That's so offensive. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know?
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
guys kind of
you
stare at
don't
you and they're
understand.
like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like that kind of look.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't understand my level of humor, so I don't expect a plebe like you to understand.
Yeah. What?
You know,
What do
I
you?
thought I
Yeah.
was hot shit. Like,
I was about to go back to that. I'm like, what do you mean like you like you were better than civilians? Like I want you to describe like that feeling. Like so
man,
I want to understand a little bit more. So did you think
man,
like you
I
were
had a
better
fucking-
because like superior to them because of your time in? Is that what you mean?
I don't want to say superior, but like I had a really big ego as well. That I got checked really fucking hard.
Like give me that
afterward.
example. Yeah, give me that example. Like what do you mean?
So, you know, I was always commanding people around. You know, just telling them,
Okay.
hey, we're gonna do it this way. You know, not that way. Fuck nut. You know, and fuck stick, like I would call somebody. And you know, I would use terms that in the military wouldn't get you in trouble, but as a civilian would get you in trouble.
Yep.
Um,
That is true.
And I'm sure, and I don't want to get you in trouble here, so you know, refrain
Oh,
from those words for the time
swearing is
being.
fine and everything. Yeah.
But oh, okay. You know, it's just.
I mean, I'm sure what we were talking about earlier was
you know.
fine too, but I just don't know YouTube.
Yeah, you know, I guess we'll find out. You know, shit.
Yeah, we 18 plus here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, we're not sensitive either. You know, we've been through shit that hasn't made us who we are.
Yeah, so you used
yeah.
some words that they weren't okay with, I assume. And
Yeah.
like what, like double down on top of it?
Yeah, basically, man. You know, I thought I was hot shit, dude. Like, I
That
fucking
is-
ran the place.
That
oh,
is
you know,
super
I'm your
funny.
supervisor. You know,
Because I was not that
you-
way. I was very different. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Wait, I have seen some cocky guys get out though. Like I have run into the occasional like other veteran at college when I got out, and that they were also like super cocky. But then I just
yeah,
gut checked them, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, all right, yeah, okay, I gotcha."
yeah.
But
So,
but yeah, I that's interesting.
yeah. Before I forget, I will add on that this was during my time where I was still taking antidepressants. So,
Okay.
you know, the mood that I was in wasn't reflecting how I am now. You know,
Oh yeah,
how I
definitely.
eventually
Well, and
became once I
plus
got
it's
to the withdrawals.
also, you know, a little different when you first get out. Like, I didn't think about it until you said it. I was really angry when I got out. I just didn't remember it. I'm obviously not angry right anymore. Like, I'm really relaxed now.
Yeah,
But when you first got
same,
out,
same.
I was definitely like really angry. I didn't like dealing with younger kids, you know, like 18-year-olds, like 19-year-olds. I hated
Oh
dealing
no,
with them.
dude,
I didn't want
I
to. I didn't want
fucking
to talk to them.
hated their guts, dude.
Me
Me
yeah,
either, dude.
but
Same,
yeah.
same.
But I just want to get back into the ego thing a little bit. It would like, did it just feel like they didn't experience what you experienced, and so you just kind of
Exactly.
like talked over them?
Yeah, it's like you weren't on my level, so you can't step to me.
That
And
that's
then
wild. I can understand that though.
I got my fucking gut checked. Like,
All right, let's hear about
stealing.
that. Let's hear about
I
that.
got humbled.
All right, let's
I
hear
got
this.
fucking humbled by a major who happened to be a customer that day. So
You said a major, like
when I got out of the
officer?
military, no, it was a sergeant major.
Sergeant major. Oh god. Oh no.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
All
All right.
It was a. I don't remember if they were retired or not, or if they had just gotten out. I don't fucking remember, but.
All right.
They had
But
the
someone
little
definitely
sergeant
very high
major.
up enlisted
Oh,
that
yeah.
got out, and
Mhm.
he was a customer at where? Was it like a store?
It was. I was at a. It was a grocery store. I was at a Publix. I was a. My first job after the military, I was a deli clerk. So I was slicing meat, and serving sandwiches and all that good stuff. And I mean, that was a really tough thing for me because like I said, I thought I was hot shit. So I
Yeah.
didn't
Well,
like
you start
talking to
over from
anybody.
scratch, right? Like
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
you to do. How long did you do in, by the way? How long were you in?
I was in 3 years.
So I did a number of years, but when I got out, I like you. It feels like you're restarting from scratch, like out of high school almost,
Yeah.
and that sucks.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely struggled the first like week or so.
Yep.
So I'm like, what the fuck what am I doing here? Like,
Yeah. Like for
I
example,
just wanna
my
go back
first
to the
two
boys,
jobs
but-
was cook at a bar and cashier guy at like an outdoor store.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's hear this. So you're at the deli store. This sergeant major comes
Yeah.
up. What happened?
yeah. So my major comes up, and I remember, we had gotten to talking, and then I was like, "Sorry, Major, how you feeling?" And they were like, "I'm doing good, man. I just got out of the military, and I think they had been out of the military like a few months longer than I was, so they were a little more adjusted to being a civilian." But I was like, "Yo, these fucking civilians, they think they don't, they think they're hot as shit." I don't remember exactly the words that I said that triggered him, but essentially he was like, "Yo, you need to shut the fuck up and know your place. You are no longer an active duty military, and you are no longer what you once were. Civilians, most of the time, don't give a fuck about what you did, and will thank you for your service until you get fucking bored of hearing that shit. So shut the fuck up, take my order, and get humble," is what he
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
And that is exactly how he told me. I stepped back and I'm like, yikes. I was like, oh, maybe he's right. I was like, fuck. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Fuck. And yeah, sure enough, dude. 3 or 4 days. I know. I took it like a 3 or 4 day sabbatical after that. You know, to kind of
had to
think about
figure
it.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And it made sense what he was telling me. You know, I changed my ways for a bit, and I tried to be better. You know, and then I went through my whole withdrawal period after my medications ran out, and that was kind of the catalyst into what became my life before and during COVID. So you
Yeah.
know, but
And it's
yeah,
I like the way he said it though. I wish he would have said more like, "You're a civilian now. Do you know that?" Like yeah, like welcome to the group, man.
yeah,
I
sure.
and you need people like that to get a little humbled. It's a good experience. It's a great experience.
yeah. And he shut me up quick. He had customers looking at me and everything. I was,
I mean,
you know, fucking, it's like everybody stopped to watch this guy get his ass chewed out by a retired sergeant major. You know, like,
and
dude, I was like,
honestly, like there's some sergeant majors I'm sure are so they probably would have been in the same boat you were. Like, oh, I'm so much more important. But that sounds like a good ass sergeant major to look out for another guy and be like, hey man, like that's not the way to be. This is you gotta think about it this way and get a little humbled and better yourself a little bit, you know,
yeah,
which is really cool.
he's
I'm sure it didn't
he
feel like that at the
served-
time.
Oh, no, dude, it definitely did not. And you know, he served and fed me a humble pie. And you know, after that, you know, I became a little more social and I was still angry, you know, but not so much. You know, like I took a step away and looked at things in a different picture afterward. And
Do you
know,
see
I
it? Do you
started
see it
being
a
a
little
little
bit
more-
differently now?
Yeah. I mean, now, you know, even though I'm so introverted these days, you know, I'm, you know, whenever I have to socialize with people, you know, I treat them the way that they deserve to be treated. You know, I treat them with respect, and that I do what I need to. You know, and do I see it in like the same way that I saw it back then? Hell no.
Yeah.
At this point, you know, I'm just another guy that did his time, and you know, struggled for a bit before he finally figured it out. You know, and that's where I'm at now. You know, is I finally figured it out for the most part. You know, and I'm doing good. You know, mentally, spiritually, physically, maybe not. Where I wanna
We're
be,
working
but-
on that. We're working on that.
Yeah.
Slow, steady progress. Very slow, steady progress. But no, that's good.
Sure.
I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good. That's good for me. I'll take it. Doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you just keep trying, man. That's it. You know, like that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Once you're out, is we're all just trying to live our lives, man. But it's funny you said that about
No doubt.
civilians, is because I don't know if you have siblings, but I'm a triplet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like when I think about civilians, you know, I think about my brother because he has not spent a single day in the military, or will he ever? And I think that's great, you know, because like that's what we signed up for, right? So they can do that and do incredible things. Like my brother's a mechanical engineer, which is fucking insane. Like it's a really good job. It takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of brains, and we need people like that. Because if we're all military, then we wouldn't have like scientists, therapists, doctors, surgeons, all the
Absolutely.
civilians that we fight for, right? So, or sign up for. So that's the way I see it. So I mean, some civilians definitely irritated the shit out of me when I first got out, but I never really saw it that way, like I was better than them. In fact, I was a little ashamed of my own service when I got out, so I didn't tell anyone about it until way later. But
Right.
yeah, but it sounds like you really improved though.
I mean, yeah. You know, I'm going back to your siblings. You know, I'm the oldest of 6, so you know, I got 3 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. And I'm the eldest one, so you know, they look up to me for different reasons. You know, and they all hold me in a certain regard. You know, but I always told them that don't expect somebody, or you know, don't hold somebody so highly in regard that you expect them to help you when the going gets tough for you, because you gotta be able to figure it out yourself. You know, and that might be a harsh way to think about it, but all my siblings, except my younger two, have gotten to the point in their life now where they can all figure things out and not having to ask anybody anymore. They're all self-sufficient.
Yeah, they're grown enough to where they're self-sufficient at this point in life, unless they really need some help, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. The way I put it with my siblings is, especially with like military, because I'm the only military in the family, so they don't have any reference.
Yeah.
And it's like, I tell them, don't put military people on a pedestal, because we're just people, you know. We're not different. Like, we're not a different breed. Like, we came from the same exact place, and we just had some different experiences. That's it. Because I've had a few people in my family like see military people as like these like incredible people that like can't do wrong, can't lie, are incredible at everything. And it's like, that's not the case. That's some fictional military person somewhere, right? Like, we're just people.
Right, exactly.
Like, we've had some experiences that like may set us apart in different ways, but don't hold them up so high that you betray your like belief of them, right? Like, because if the moment you meet one of them, you're gonna shatter that philosophy of like your idea of the military person. It's like, we're just people. Like, I got sent to boot camp, or was sent to an MOS that we didn't want, had some shitty times, got deployed or didn't deploy, did a bunch of training, drank a lot, then got out. Or didn't drink.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if all of you drank.
Yeah, I mean, most of the people that were in my unit were drinkers, so I think, you know, a good time was had.
Oh yeah,
And,
without a doubt.
We have memories to live off of now, and we can look back on it without any regret.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, whether you drink or not, especially in the military, like, it's an experience, and you're gonna get through it somehow, and you'll have some great memories, but you gotta be prepared for the times that are not great, and you gotta make the most with what you got, whether you get injured, get put in a crappy command, not get that promotion that you thought you were gonna get. You just gotta stick with it, work with what you got.
Just gotta roll. Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you, if you wanted to give me a brief synopsis of your military life, because I know this is about me, but because I'm one of the newcomers on your channel, kind of want to get what your story is.
I'll keep it pretty brief, because this one I wanted to make about you, and we're just about at 2 hours, so we'll be cutting this pretty soon. But I did some time in the Marine Corps. I was security forces, like I said. I was going to be infantry, and then got tricked into security forces because I was a dumb high schooler. But funny enough, there's two types of security forces, and they put me in the kind that I didn't want to go to. But because I got my license taken away before I joined, I didn't rate the security clearance. So I got put in that other version of security forces, which was actually a pretty good and bad time. Good because we had a big budget and I got a lot of training, and I got to be a designated marksman, which was my favorite job ever in the Marine Corps. I had an M110 SAS sniper rifle, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of pride in it. I had some really shitty times. And then I switched to an infantry unit, and then I was at the infantry unit for the last of my career until I got out in California in Camp Pendleton. And I got out, and I was pretty bitter, pretty angry, and never thought I would have joined back in. But when I got out, I felt like I didn't belong. I felt out of place. And so I joined as a medic in the National Guard, and then did my time there, which was a big change, Army to Marine Corps to Army. It was a lot of different acronyms for the same thing and weird little changes. But I got used to it, and I mellowed out a little bit, and I really enjoyed the job and the people that I met. And it was just like the little feeling of familiarity, which was good. But also you deal with some dumb shit, which is the military in general. You're gonna do that. All in all, I was a marksman. I was in infantry for a bit. I got out, and then I became a medic for the last bit. And I've definitely mellowed out, and I'm not so bitter anymore. I recognize that I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't have those bad times and good times. And I really treasure some of the experiences that I had when I was in. And my main thing is hopefully I can do more of this and talk to other vets and people that are in and see what they get to know their experiences, see what their lives were. And everybody's got a story. Everybody has their own unique story in the military, which I hope I can find out more of, and be a fox medic and just talk to them in either their little foxhole and give them a cup of joe, some alcohol, or give them a cigarette, and just talk a little bit. And hopefully other people can hear these stories too, because other vets, I'm sure, have the same problems that you were talking about, or same situations that you're talking about. And hopefully they'll hear something like this, and they'll be like, oh, I'm not the only one that dealt with that. Or they're getting out and they feel like they don't, they're the only one going through that. And they hear this and they're like, oh, okay, like I'm not alone. Plenty of other guys go through the same thing. Or they just relate on the stories, like some of the comments in the YouTube channels that I've seen in there. It's pretty rare, but you'll find like everyone has their own little story that they talk about, and I'd love to hear more about that. So that's the plan, at least. How I'll do that, have no idea. Still figuring this out, but I think it'll be worth it. I hope. But that's it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's in a nutshell, like a very shortened version of my career, which is great. And I gotta say, like, even though I spent more time in the Army, technically, I still feel like I know way more about the Marine Corps, to be quite honest. It's really weird, because you're like, I've spent more time in the Army, but I still feel like a Marine. And I can't shake it. I got this weird like taste for crayons I just can't shake. Just sticking around. Just gotta sniff some glue, eat some crayons. I don't know. It's weird.
I'll make sure to send a 36 pack to your PO box next time.
No, I appreciate it. But I'm gonna wrap this up, but we'll stay in the call. But I'm just gonna wrap this up for the recording. So you guys, hope you guys enjoyed the. Hope you guys enjoyed to listen. Still figuring this out, obviously. But if you guys have any stories that you'd like to come talk to me about, hit me up on the YouTube comments, or just hit me up on one of the other social medias on Twitter, or just say hello on Twitch. But this is Drifter Fox, that's my name, and hopefully we'll hear your stories sometime as well. Let me know, and I hope you guys drink water, change your socks, take Motrin, and we'll see you guys later.